everybody, and welcome back to Lavelia's Coloring. How are you guys doing today? I hope you all are doing great. On this video, I will be showing you how I created the Aurora Borealis on this Rita Berman's Mine Winter Spicer Gang, which is the Winter Walk. This is one of Rita Berman's seasonal coloring books. I do want to let you know that I did not write any numbers down of what I used to create this background. At the time, this was back in 2017. I think it was for during the Christmas time. I just remember when I first saw this page, I knew what I wanted to see in the background. I knew I wanted it to be the Aurora Borealis, and I just dove right in, picked out my colors. So in this video, I will show you my process of how I went about picking out the colors and how I wanted it to look like. What I know I first did was I went on I went on Google and I looked up Aurora Borealis, and I wanted to see how it looks like in the sky, so you can see that how it streaks how it streaks up. So a lot of my motions, as I color, I'm going to be going up and down, so it was, and try to go in the same direction, so they're all going one way. And with the Aurora Borealis, you can see it can be any shape or any flowing direction, and so any colors, you'll see there's a lot of green, a little bit blue, pinks, and purples. So the colors I'm choosing is what I used on the Rita Berman, which is more of a turquoise turning into blue. I may add a little purple, but I'll see towards that part. I'm going to work on this these colors, which is the like light green and aquamarine, and towards the blue and black. So the page I will be coloring to try to recreate this scene is going to be in this night sky that is from the Romantic Country Fantasy Coloring Book by Erie. This is the first book. So this is the chapter page, which is a double spread. I'm just going to work on the right side, and I'll probably finish it up onto the left side later on, but just as a little demonstration on how I created it. So the colors I will be using is these. I'll go ahead and zoom you in. Okay, so the colors I will be using is gray green light is number 289, light green 920, light aqua 992, aquamarine 905, Indanthrone Blue 208, white 938, and black 935. The white one you're going to be using a lot because that's going to be my my blender. So that's what I'm going to use to blend all the colors. So all these colors, I don't know if it comes in any of the other sets, but the set that I got these colors from are from the 150 Prismacolor Premiers. So I chose this set because of the creaminess of the pencils, and makes it easier to blend. So I think the paper on the Romantic Country is kind of similar to the Rita Berman, so hopefully it'll work out the same, and hopefully I'll get kind of the same results as I did from the Rita Berman coloring book. Okay, so the first color I'm going to use is the light green, which is number 920. I am using the second lightest one because the green gray light is too light for me to it's too light to see on this paper. I'm pretty much using this just as a guideline for when I add any more layers underneath it. So with the light green, I'll be laying the path of where I want the Aurora Borealis to go along the night sky. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go in up and down, just so I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to go across the sky. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going up and down, but this is where I want it to go. And I'm just going to go around here and maybe go around up here and go up. So this is just a rough. I'm not pressing down hard. It's just a rough drawing of where I want it to go. And then I think I'm going to do another one. So this one, when I do the other side, I'm just going to do a little rough one going here. But I want like another one right over here, just to go up. Oops, right here. So I'm going up and down. Just a light one. And I'm just going to go up this way, just like it's fading away into the sky. If you hear any construction, I want to apologize. They are building a whole new neighborhood right behind my house, and I can hear it clearly, so I don't know if the mic will pick it up, all the beeping from the trucks. So just gonna go, this is the light green, and just follow my path just to make sure I can see it. Just continue with the up and down. And I forgot to put in the back. I'm sorry. I forgot to put a cutting mat, just so the paper doesn't or the ink doesn't transfer to the other page. And especially when I'm going to be blending, I want to make sure I put this on. So I'm just, I don't know if you can see it, but here. So just a general path of where it's going to be going. Now I just have this disappearing up there. Okay, so the next one, I would go ahead and pick up the light aqua. You're going to notice that a lot of my pencils here are small, so it gets even smaller. So yeah, so we're going to go with the light aqua, and I'm going to just go slowly on top of the light green that I just laid down. So just lightly on top, just like slightly going over the top of where I put the light green. And I want to be able to see it. So this is going to be a rough look for right now. And then as we gradually lay all the layers, it'll come together, hopefully. So this is my second attempt at this, so hopefully it'll work out, and then yeah. Okay, so next I'm going to add Aquamarine, which is number 905, and on top of where I put the light aqua. So a little bit off the top of the light aqua, I'm going to lay the Aquamarine. Okay, so the next one I will come in is with the Indanthrone Blue, which is number 208. And again, I'm going to lightly put in the color. And this one is pretty much going to be kind of like my night sky. So I'm going to be leaving space underneath the light green. So I'm just going to go like this. So for the space in between these two auroras. You know what? I'm going to come back with the Aquamarine. I'm just going to make this a little bit longer, since the space here is so big. Let's make this. Since this is only a rough layering for beginning, I can just make it as big as I want. This one I want to bring this out too. Okay, so come back with the Indanthrone Blue. Okay, so this is pretty much a rough coloring of how the Aurora Borealis is going to look like. I know it doesn't look like much right now, but you can see the path of where it's going. And then so now I'm going to be slowly building up all the colors, and I'll be starting with the gray-green light. Okay, so with the gray-green light, I will be going, that little white space I left underneath the light green, so between the light green and the Indanthrone Blue, and I'm just going to just like a medium pressure, just pulling those two together. And remember, if you get too much blue on your pencils, it's always good to have like a scratch paper. So just like a little scratch paper to wipe out any colors that you might have picked up. Let's put this to the side. So I'm just coloring underneath the light green and on top of the Indanthrone Blue. So this is just like a medium to light pressure. So now I'm going to come in with the light green, and I'm going to just keep at where I colored it in from the first layer, and I'm just going to slowly add each color. So after the light green, I'll come in with the light aqua, and then so I'm only going to color in the area where I put the light aqua, and then I'm going to come in with the Aquamarine, and then back to the Indanthrone Blue. So I'm slowly building up the colors. Okay, so this over here. So next one is light green. Okay, I forgot to let you know that as I went through, I was using like a light to medium pressure, just so you can see it's a little bit darker. I still have my hand not too close to the point, so it's still further away, so I'm just slowly building up the color, and there's a little bit more pressure than when I first layered it. And so I'll just go ahead and continue on. So now is the second layer, and I don't know if you can finally glimpse how I'm building up the colors. With the Prismacolor, I want to try to keep building up the color until there's enough pigment in there so that when I use the white Prismacolor, I can easily blend the colors all together. But when I use the white Prismacolor, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because that's just going to blend all the colors into each other. What I'm going to do is, like I did all the other colors, they're all individual colors along the Aurora Borealis. I'm going to use the white to individually color through it all and then to blend it all. So I'm going to do a couple more layers to build it up. Okay, so this is about 4 layers worth of Prismacolor. So I tried to lay as much as I can, so when I come in with the white Prismacolor, I can blend the colors together. So I forgot to say in the beginning, it's always good to have a brush because with the Prismacolor there's always dust that wants to come out, and an extra either paper. I'm using a cutting board to protect my hand because I started getting blue on one side. So now I'm going to go ahead and start blending with the white, and I'm going to start in this end, but I'm going to start from the darker to the lightest, and as I go to each layer, I'm going to make sure I clean out the tip of my pencil so I don't drag too much color to the lighter layers. So I am going to use pretty much a heavy hand to start moving the colors to blend in and to take away the white spots that you see in here. So I'm going to start with this what is this color, Aquamarine, and just start going in, and then slowly just little by little going up into the Indanthrone color. But I'm mostly in the, and I'm not coloring all of the Aquamarine. Is just like the top 3/4 of it and into a quarter of the Indanthrone. It's just to blend them together, and then I can blend the colors in. So I'm just going to go like this, and you can see why I want to add more layers is because so you won't see too much white underneath. But that can always be remedied later. Just gonna keep going across, and I'm going up and down because that's how the Aurora Borealis look like. So this is my loose interpretation of how I color that one. So I'm gonna clean off my pencil. This part of the blue, I will be using the black. So the black is what I'm going to use for this part to darken up the areas of this Indanthrone Blue. So I'm just going to go back again just to smooth it out. And I'm using heavy pressure. I'm not like forcibly pushing it down, but just enough pressure that it will blend, because that'll hurt your wrist. So I'll clean out my pencil again, make sure there's no blue in it, and this time I'm going to do the same thing again, where I'm going to blend the quarter that I left in the bottom and then about 3/4 of this. So just bring it together and just go all the way through the line. So I just want to smooth that out. And right here you can see that there's like a little bit of a line, but we're gonna fix that in another layer. So just gonna go in here and just see if we can smooth that out. And I wonder which way it's going. I think I'm going up and down, but looks like I'm going in an angle because I'm coloring from the side. So as long as they're all going the same way. And I'm sorry if the camera is shaking as I color this. I'm trying not to shake. So I'll clean out my pencil again. And then I'm going to go in color on top of the light green. So I'm going to bring it up into the light aqua. Then I'm going to clean out my pencil again. Okay, then now I'm going to go on top of the gray-green light and just trying to avoid the indanthrone over here. And I just want to go up and down. Now I'm going to continue working on this section, and what I'm going to try to do is try to make it look a little bit more seamless between the colors. So between the aquamarine and the light aqua, I'm just going to go on top and just add more color to make it go through. So I'm using the light aqua on top of the white that I already put, just to bring in color and blend that in. And then I will come in with the light green or in between this one and a light aqua, and just get in there. And I'm using a hard pressure, so I'm just getting in there and just kind of like pulling them together using the light green. And as you can see, there's a lot of dust coming from the color because I'm heavily pushing it down so I can blend it together. There. And then I'll come back in with a gray green light to make sure I clean out my tip of my pencil. There. And same thing, I'm going to bring this down just to blend it out. Okay, and now you can see that it is starting to blend together. Sorry, just rough. Now I'm gonna go back with the white, and then I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna go all the way down. It's gonna just blend it all in one. So it's not, because the paper is, there's so many layers in there. I'm just smoothing out the colors. Now I'm using about like a medium to heavy pressure. I'm trying not to touch all the way up to the blue. Just going up and down. And then so here, just want to, I'm just going to go in circles here, so just emphasize the bottom part of this. Okay, and then so that's it for this one, and then I'm going to start blending this area, and then I'm going to go ahead and continue to the other parts. So for this part, I will do the same thing. I'm going to use the white, and I'm just going to bring it up, not all the way. I just want just that part, top part here, and just to bring it down a little into the aquamarine. Not too much, just here. So I'm going up and down again. Just want to clear up some of the white spots there, and then I'm just trying to bring in a little bit of the color, just bring it down. I'm going to come in with the aquamarine. I'm just going to clean this up right here. Bring in a little bit more color. Come back with the white. So I'm just trying to clean out my pencil here. And just go back in, and just a light to medium pressure, just to blend it out. So now I'm going to come in with my black, and the black, I want it really dark, so I'm going to just pretty much color it in. So I'm coloring hard, and I want to put as much pigment in there. Just gonna go sideways here. So there's a lot of pressure on using this black one, but as I go into the blue, I'm just kind of dragging it down into the lighter areas. But I'm also going to come back with the Indanthrone Blue. So now I'm going to come back with the Indanthrone Blue, and I'm going to be dragging color down because I don't want this lighter part over here, so I'm just dragging. Trying to cover all the white spots at the same time. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is right under where I applied the gray green light, I'm gonna use a light aqua to make the transition between this dark blue into the white not so noticeable. So I'm just going to kind of like go up and down. I just started circles here because that's where the lining is, and it's making a making a line. So go ahead and go here and start going up and down. kind of creating a little barrier in between. And I'm using really hard pressure too. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue what I did on this part onto this area over here, and then I'll explain how I colored the in-between parts over there. Okay, so at the end part, I just wanted to soften up some of the light aqua that I put in the bottom that gradually went into the lighter part in this area. You can see because there was so many crumbs from the pencils, the color kind of blended into the lightest part over here, but it's okay. So I didn't want it white anyways. I liked how this part blended together, and I'll probably continue to blend this part out using the white pencil, and pretty much I'm just burnishing the color slowly, trying not to mix the colors up too much, and just to make it look as seamless as I can, whatever's good enough for you. And so yeah, so you saw my process of how I put this all together. I'm just going to go ahead and continue it on to the rest of the page, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I finished this little area out over here, and I left this little bit to finish up as I record. So what I did for the darker areas, like the black and the Indanthrone Blue, I showed a little bit over here what I did, but pretty much I just lay as much of the black on top of the Indanthrone Blue layer I had previously, and then I think I did about 2 more layers of black on top. You can still see a lot of the white spots coming through, so instead of using the black to burnish the color in, I am using the Indanthrone Blue, and it works well. So this is how it looks. So it's not like black will be like the darkest blue. So I'll go ahead and finish this up. So wondering, what do you guys think of this version of the Aurora Borealis? It is bigger than the other one because I had more space to play with, and there isn't any of the trees, and I'm sorry if the camera is moving. Can't help the table from shaking as I color and burnish this blue in. Just gonna go back. So yeah, so you just pretty much burnish it up, and it covers pretty good, and it's not so black, and the Indanthrone Blue, with the help of the black layers underneath, the result is nice after you burnish it. So here. So I'm just trying to finish this up really quick because I have to drop off my daughter to her spring concert tonight. So I'm gonna finish this, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So I mean, you can always condense it or just use whatever shape you want to use. Like I was saying, you can use whatever shape you want your Aurora Borealis to be, and you can pretty much use any kind of shades of color. So like this one, I used shades of the turquoise or aquamarines, and you can use shades of blues, shades of purple, to make your Aurora Borealis. And it can be, yeah, and just using the same principle of just layering it, and then using the white to do the streaks going up and down too. Yeah, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but a lot of the Prismacolor crumbs from the, I forgot what that part is called, from the pencil, but it like smeared onto the clock tower, but I can always erase that later on. And then so as I finish this, I can see where, if I need to add more stuff, or to, like, probably this one is where I would want to add more, what do you call that, to make it a little more seamless, like these two. So I'll go ahead and get my white pencil, make sure it's not there's no other colors in there. Just wipe it off on a piece of paper, and then I'm just going to go over it and just to blend it out. And you might have to go over it a couple more times, but just until you're satisfied with it. What I would do is just like step back or take a picture of your work, and just to see how it looks, because if you look up close, you can see a lot of things you might want to change or work with, but if you look at it from afar, you can see how the picture comes together, because you'll always see like blemishes if you look at any picture up close. Any paintings, I mean, it's not a perfect scene. Let's make sure I don't color in the blue. Clean this out again. Okay, so let me just clean this one up here. See, I have some blue, so I just you know, the little crumbs that accidentally get into the, so I shouldn't use my hand, that accidentally gets into the, embedded into the thing. I just go over it with the white, so you can see little streaks there, and I'll just use the white to blend it into the color, and it pretty much like erases it. So yeah, so really handy tool with the white pencils to erase any dark spots that you don't want in there. Okay, so this is how it is right now. It's complete. It looks good to me. So now I'm going to add the stars, so you can see the little circles that was there earlier behind the prisma. You can see, I only see two, I don't, or three here. So I'm just going to add my stars in here. Okay, what I'm going to use is my Uniball Signal. This is the size 1.0 mm. You can see, I don't, right there. And I also have my 1M Posca and my 3M Posca. So for bigger stars and smaller stars, yeah, they're all different sizes. They're not all one. And when you do your stars, it looks better if it's all clustered in different areas, not all evenly spaced. So I'll be right back. I'm going to be shaking these Posca pens. Okay, so I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So I'm sorry. What did I do? I sprinkled, no, not sprinkled, but I used the 3M Posca until it kind of like was dying on me. So I put little dots in random places, because the stars in the sky isn't in perfect order, so it's good to just put it in random areas. So I'm just going to continue with my 1M pen. Let's see, try not to, this is my 3M again because my 1M isn't working, so I'm just putting it in different spots. I try to make different size just so, because some stars are closer than the others, so you want to can be very random, just put it wherever. Some are closer to each other, some are farther apart. Yeah, so it's one, and I like to add little stars to my skies. So I'm just going to pick one dot and I'm going to works. It's not working. Hold on. Kind of like a cross. Like that. So those try to put those everywhere. Let me see if I have another pen I can use. This is smaller, but let me see if I can use this one. There we go. Pick another. Let's go pick this one. So little twinkles in the sky. I don't want to put them too close to each other. There. And maybe up here too. I want to put one more. I don't think you can see this, but I'll put this one in here anyways. Okay. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little recreation tutorial. Let me go ahead and put this up, sorry. There you go, of my Aurora Borealis. If you have any questions, maybe hopefully I didn't skip a step or anything, but just ask me in the comments and I'll answer you as soon as I can. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little recreation, and I'll hope to see you guys on my next video. So please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later. Take care and happy colorings. Bye bye.